So it feels real good to walk into a super clean studio. I don't know if you can tell very well, but I cleaned up and I've actually been doing a lot of remodeling in terms of structural, where desks and couches go, and putting up all the canvases, you know, kind of organizing everything. And as you can see, there's usually a couch right there. Moved it right here because I am changing this mural. This is like a huge steel door that goes to another room, and I threw up this Nash styled character. Nash is a great, you know, graffiti artist, just artist in general, and I loved his characters. I mimicked him. That's a separate video. I'll put the link in the description. I love this character that I did, but it's time to freshen things up. So I just wanted to reiterate this idea of copying and mimicking other artists. You know, during the original video of that, I explained how I was purposefully copying Nash, his styled characters. You know, I'm a huge fan of him, and I always like to study other artists' work in order to improve. You know, painters do that all the time. They copy the masters as a study to improve, to get exposed to other styles, but you can never, ever, you know, claim it as original artwork. You know, a great artist once told me, you're doing yourself a disservice by biting other people's work, by copying their ideas. You know, in the long run, it actually hurts you. I know people do it with my artwork, and that's awesome. I'm a huge fan. Just, you know, Nash actually commented on that video. It was so awesome. I forgot what he said. I'll put it right here. It's something like, you know, cool work, great job or something, but that's not how I do it, or the process was different, something, I don't know. It was really cool. And yeah, so I loved it. It's up there. It was up there for about 6, 7, 8 months. Now I'm doing something else. I'm actually not really sure what I'm gonna paint, but it's gonna be something fun. And actually, for all of this wall space, it's just this master hide flat white that I did for all the walls, and clearly I need to cover that with something. I want it to be white, and thank goodness I have still some more white under here. I think in the back I have a little white paint left. It should be enough to cover that thing, and then we could get cranking. Oh, not a lot, but that will do, donkey, that will do. It's hardly any, but it should be enough. Every last drop. So if you can't tell, we're painting a skull. I just spent some time making the rubric, the outline in pencil. You can't see it very well. Maybe I'll get some other shots, but I've been doing skulls in my sketchbook recently. They're super fun and actually really challenging, you know, anatomically speaking. I just grabbed this photo offline to use as reference, and it's a great photo because there's great light. You know, there's an obvious dark side, an obvious light side, and as long as you're staying within the rules of the light and the values, and keep the values consistent, it's gonna turn out great. And before we start, I just want to show you the colors I picked out. My palette, it's some like earthy, neutral browns and stuff. It's gonna be subtle, but I think it will look great. And they're actually arranged in my value scale. I was talking about value. It's super important. And if you want to improve, like a lot of people do that watch my videos and ask me, you know, you should start seriously considering value, but it's pretty much the value scale from white to black and all the things in between. And to make things realistic, or to show correct lighting with highlights and shadows and midtones, you need a lot of values within your painting. But it's gonna help me maneuver through this painting and keep my values consistent and correct. It took me a while to get it, but just watch videos. You know, this is like a 30-second explanation. And let's finally begin. update. I have, you know, pretty dark colors and pretty light colors. This like muted pink, and I got this dark gray, but I don't yet have the darkest dark and lightest light. These aren't just mid-tones. There's obviously really light and really dark, but it's kind of the more middle values. I don't know how else to explain it, and that's how I think about it. But yeah, that's where I'm at. So I'm gonna go in with a more darker color like this, and it's really gonna pop now. It's like the best part, the cherry. Not yet, the cherry's not yet, but it's close. This is also what it looks like outside, which just makes me so happy because, you know, rain just equals painting. So if I'm not outside and it's not nice out, I'm gonna get weird on the skull. Well, we finished the skull. It's all complete. It's a crummy day outside, so it's a perfect excuse to paint. Covered up the Nash character. Shout out Nash. You know, I think I did a pretty good job replicating the values from the picture I grabbed off the internet and, you know, putting it up there. It's not photorealistic, you know, photorealism and nature. There's no outlines in nature, so that was just a stylistic choice I made. Anytime I'm doing a painting project, a drawing, commission piece just for fun, you know, there's always an opportunity to improve on something or, you know, focus in on some technique to, you know, get better. And today it was values. I did just that and it was great. I even learned myself. You know, I make these videos not to teach art because I'm not a master or anything. I just do it to share my experience, what goes through my mind, and just for entertaining purposes, documenting all the artwork. So if you enjoy that, you should definitely subscribe. And stay tuned. Again, hopefully you enjoyed, maybe you learned something. Stay tuned and I'll see you in the next video.